Kimmel's abrupt suspension has sparked outrage. Protesters gathered outside ABC studios in Burbank this afternoon to show support for Kimmel. Demonstrators denounce ABC's move, arguing this suspension is an attack on free speech. Meanwhile, others say Kimmel crossed the line.
All right, let's get some more context here and continue the conversation around free speech and the implications of Kimmel's suspension and what it means for the media landscape. Let's bring in Nolan Higdon, political science professor at UC Santa Cruz. Professor, we appreciate the time here. We obviously heard in Greg's piece the comments from the chairman of the FCC suggesting at least that the FCC may take some sort of regulatory action against ABC and sort of hinting that he wanted Jimmy Kimmel to be taken off the air. Why do you believe that ABC made this move and decided to suspend Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, I think it's very clear that the FCC was putting pressure on ABC and its the affiliate distributors through Nexstar and Sinclair Broadcasting, and ABC felt pressured enough that they were going to remove Kimmel. We have some reporting that they were debating all day about what to do with Kimmel. Kimmel was prepared to address the controversy on his show. But all indications are this amounts to censorship by proxy. That is to say that the federal government cannot censor content like this. We have First Amendment protections. So the Trump administration has tried to circumvent those protections by pressuring institutions to censor people on behalf of the government. And as noted, these companies, have a lot of money and they have big deals on the table and they need the government to sign off on them. And that seems to be a big motivating factor in why they finally removed Kimmel from the air.
Well, the reaction here has sparked a debate about where the line is drawn. What do you think this says about free speech and how it's being interpreted and challenged in this time?
Well, I think one of the things about the line of free speech is it changes over time, and entertainers in particular play a pivotal role in showing us where those boundaries are. Entertainers who push the boundaries find out that they've gone too far by the public reaction. But one thing we've long decided in this country is we do not want the government deciding where that boundary is, and I think that's why this is sparking so much outrage.
President Trump today went a step further, some would argue, suggesting the FCC should revoke broadcast licenses of networks if their late-night hosts criticize him. Can you put that in some context here? Have we ever seen a president hint at using the regulatory power of the government to stop speech that the administration didn't like?
I mean, from time to time, historically, the federal government has certainly gotten involved in censoring content and people they found problematic. You can look back at the War on Terror or the Red Scares of the 20th century, or even go back to Presidents Jefferson and Adams. But nothing that's been this direct and obvious. I mean, this is straight out saying it. In those previous examples, they would hide behind things like national security, foreign threats, whatever it may be. Trump's not even trying to really hide this. He's basically saying that if you want to play ball in this country and make money involved in the media industry, you have to kind of kowtow to whatever the will of his administration may be.
Can you talk about late night in general? I mean, it's no secret that they've lost ratings and they're seeing declining ratings. We know Stephen Colbert was canceled by CBS earlier this year, reports that it was losing about $40 million. And I'm just curious, is this maybe more about money than politics?
There certainly is probably some approaching deadline for late night television. It has been a dying form of entertainment, the Late Show. It's not what it used to be. But that probably was going to come at the end of these contracts. Instead, what happened here with ABC and CBS is they moved quickly to take these shows off the air after they were threatened by the Trump administration, or their economic interests were threatened by the Trump administration. And so I think the business excuse has been a convenient one that's trying to distract from the fact, particularly if this ends up in court, about the federal government overstepping their power and their boundaries of power here. I think this is going to certainly be something that needs to be decided in the court, maybe in Congress. The president shows no indication that he wants to stop these type of practices.
Yeah, and with that being said, I mean, do you think that Jimmy Kimmel would have any sort of legal recourse to be able to fight this suspension?
I'm not really an expert on the legality of these issues, but one thing I can say, and this happened in particular over the summer, some of the Supreme Court cases have tried to avoid getting involved with this gray area of censorship by proxy, meaning how do you prove the government pressured this particular company to do this particular thing around speech? It's a really difficult thing to prove. And so I think the courts have kind of wavered on that. But the Trump administration has pushed this issue over and over again in the second term, whether it be the lawsuits against the New York Times and Wall Street Journal or ABC, CBS, and now this latest issue with Jimmy Kimmel. All of these are really putting pressure on the courts to clarify where is the boundary of what the government can do here.
Yeah, really quick, we don't have very much time. I just want to ask you, do you think that people may self-censor now? What does this mean for commentary moving forward?
Yeah, I think this creates a chilling effect. Whenever folks know that they could lose their job, they consciously or sometimes subconsciously try to avoid certain topics or certain statements, and the whole nation suffers as a result. Democracy is predicated on the free flow of ideas, especially ideas we don't like. That's how we engage with new things, change our mind, and learn new things.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate your insight and perspective. As always, it's good to see you. Dr. Nolan Higdon, UC Santa Cruz professor. Great to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you.